It's Nolan. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. We got a good show for y'all planned out today. Of course, we're still going in line with everything associated with Kendrick Lamar, Drake. If you're tired of the subject, I totally understand it. This might not be the video for you. If you saw that in the title and still clicked on it, welcome here. If you gotta leave, I get it. But we're going to talk nonetheless because this is the biggest story in hip hop. Y'all know I cover other things on the channel as well. So if you want to see those things, tune in when those things drop. All right. Now, first thing on the list for today is Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us has been deemed eligible for Grammy nomination at the 2025 Grammy show. Okay. This is something that a lot of people have been talking about, wondering if this was going to happen. Just a couple days ago, people was in my comments saying, man, I can't. What happens if Kendrick wins a Grammy for Not Like Us? Well, I don't think we got to pontificate on that for too much longer because within the next 8 months or so, he might be going home with a couple of them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Now, we've got Harvey Mason Jr., and Harvey Mason Jr. is actually the CEO of the Recording Academy. The Recording Academy is the company over the Grammys, and they've got other foundations and things like that underneath them. They've got nonprofits, they've got charitable stuff, organizations, whatnot. So he came out and said that, it's all fair game, basically. All right. So on TMZ, it says Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us is one of the hottest tracks on the planet, and Recording Academy CEO Harvey Mason Jr. says a diss track winning a Grammy might not be conventional, but now it's definitely possible. Okay. TMZ Hip Hop spoke with him earlier this week, where he told them that he's been feeling the cultural avalanche of Not Like Us, just like everyone else. As we know, the music video was shot, or at least parts of the music video was shot over in Compton over the weekend, and its release will inevitably breathe new life into the song, which, while being extremely danceable, is still primarily a huge shot at Drake. We know that because it was released as a diss record. Right? Harvey says it's all about the art and creativity at the end of the day, and Not Like Us is checking all of those boxes. Okay? Now, of course, the voters will have the final say because the Recording Academy doesn't always get things right. But we've got video here of Mr. Harvey Mason addressing the subject. We're going to pull that up for y'all. And we're going to keep this thing rolling. So give me a second so I can pull up the video of his conversation with the TMZs. You feel me? All right, let's go.
From the perspective of the Recording Academy, what do you think about They Not Like Us as far as like something to maybe nominate or even be a winner as like for album of the year, record of the year, or like even like hip hop, categories?
Obviously, it's a hot record. It's amazing artistry, great writing, the talent in that record. It's incredible. And you got artists that have been nominated before, and Kendrick obviously has been successful with the organization, so I don't see any reason why it couldn't be. It's all about the quality of the record. It's really about the members. The members like it, and they'll be nominated.
But because of the fact that it is a diss record, and there are it's one of those tracks where there's a lot being said that's like, whoa, there's some heavy bombs in there. Would that make a problem for within the Academy, like the voting body? Like, would they be maybe hesitant? Would you predict that? Or that they would see it for the art?
I think the voting members of the Academy appreciate greatness.
Yeah.
They appreciate what's hot, what's going on. That's a relevant record that's impacting on so many levels. There's so much creativity and talent. I like to believe that the Academy members recognize that and they vote appropriately.
Could you ever see a diss record category? I mean, I'm being facetious, but really I feel like it's back. Like that whole.
I mean, there have been some incredible diss records.
There's been some.
Anything's possible. I got to tell you, the Academy, and what I'm proud about, we work really hard to try and stay relevant and keep up with what's going on in music.
Yeah.
And more and more diss records started happening. You never know, but all of our awards come from our members. They say, hey, we want a diss track category, and they vote on it, and if they like it and they want it, then it happens. So you never know what's gonna happen.
So regardless of the whatever word like jabs were in there, you could see this happen. You could see if the members want it, it'll go.
If the members want it, it will be nominated.
If the members want it, it will be nominated. Now, who are the members? Well, of course, it's going to be people within the music industry. Kendrick has a pretty long-standing run at the Grammys, has a lot of success at the Grammys. I think he's won, I mean, maybe not the most, but of any rapper, I think he does have the most at the Grammys, like wins. I think he has damn near the most nominations too, besides Drake. So I think we're gonna see this. I think, unfortunately for the Drake, you know, I don't even know what to call y'all because it's beyond fandom. You know, for the most part, I've been a Drake fan throughout his career, but for the Drake truthers, the OV hoes, I know that this is gonna be unpleasant to the ear, right? I know watching the show, you might even opt out to say, I'm not watching this shit because I already know what's coming. I'm boycotting. Okay, cool. There's enough reasons to boycott the Grammys. There's enough reasons out there not to watch the show. They don't always get it right. A lot of people have been snubbed. That's cool. I agree with you on a lot of those fronts. I mean, shit, Drake had already stopped showing up to the show 2 years ago. So, cool. But that ain't gonna stop the show from happening. And it ain't gonna stop the inevitable. If the CEO of the Academy is coming out and allowing himself to be interviewed by TMZ for him to put his stamp on that the way he just did, you can already put the cat in the bag. It's probably gonna be featured in 4 or 5 categories. It's gonna win at least one. Might win multiple. Get ready for it. Get ready to be sick to your stomach. You know what I'm saying? If you got to take some antacids that night, some Alka-Seltzer, do what the fuck you got to do. Some Goody powder. I'm from the South, where you get some of that good old Goody powder, put it in your motherfucking water, you'll be all right. Y'all be all right, man. Okay, so definitely wanted to address that first. Now, let's see where things take us next. Speaking of people defending OVO, we've got Drake Associate, the resident offender over there at OVO, Baka Not Nice. I was trying to find the most politically correct title to give him. He's an artist signed over there, but he's also got a lot of weird cases. So he comes out on the heels of the pop-out show for Kendrick Lamar, and he wanted to try to remind Kendrick fans of Drake's stage presence in LA, basically letting it be known we get love out there too, and when we do shows out there, the shit be lit. Okay? So, hot new hip-hop is messy. They said a lot of Kendrick Lamar fans may still be wondering why he is around, but Baka rushed to show that Drake can rock a West Coast crowd too. The pop-out seemingly brought on the dramatic spotlight end of Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef, with the latter performing multiple of his disses multiple times and uniting the West while doing so. However, there is a lot of discussion on whether this really settles things and whether or not the Juneteenth show will have any tangible impact on either of their careers. For starters, the Toronto Superstars' next show in California will definitely be an interesting one to witness, and there's a big question on how the West Coast will really respond to his continued success and movement. But Baka Not Nice thinks that there won't be any sweat. Moreover, The OVO affiliate posted footage of Drake's sold-out show in Los Angeles on tour just last year, which contained a hype crowd singing along to his sicko mode verse. Whether or not Kendrick Lamar's United Cali against him is too big of a state, and he's too big of an artist to lose significant success there or anywhere else for that matter, they state. While fans are still speculating on what Drizzy's thoughts and reactions are concerning all of this, the likely answer is that he doesn't have to worry too much. After all, neither MC was ever in a position to stop the other in their tracks. This is according to Hot New Hip Hop. All right. They say, for those unaware, Baka Not Nice was a key player in the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef. Kendrick specifically accused him of being an S-trafficker and a predator based on accusations that emerged from an assault conviction. K-Dot also held some additional disses for his rival, including an offer for a little respect in exchange for Tupac's ring back. Maybe this post from Baka indicates that there will still be direct tension between all these camps this year that isn't just avoided resentment. Meanwhile, Whitney Alford and Dave Free's respective appearance and production concerning the Pop Out caused some more debate around Drake's claims against Kendrick Lamar. Maybe his disses on Family Matters and The Heart Part 6 are not as true as OVO thought, but there are always murky waters. Either way, debate will likely continue for the rest of hip-hop history, and all the while, Kendrick stans will always ask, why is Baka still around? Now let's go ahead and pull up the footage, pull up the files that Baka's trying to make known here so people could see just how much support that Drake received in LA as recent as last year, last time he was on tour. My bad, y'all. Let me run that shit back. I fucked up.
If this ain't a flex, I don't know what is. Energy. Sheesh. Mad.
So those are a couple videos of Drake performing out in LA, and they're basically trying to use this footage to let it be known that Drake gets way too much love out there for there to be any sort of stoppage of his flow, for there to be any sort of deterrent from people coming out to his next tour stop when he stops out there in LA, which I'm not gonna doubt that he's gonna have a successful show, probably be a sold out show. But again, it's a difference between what's going on in the culture and what people are actually, showing up to in terms of like entertainment value. I think those are two different things. They do intersect, they do intermingle, but nobody is ever questioning that Drake is still going to be a commodity. The question is, who is he a commodity to, right? And we'll just have to see. Now, with that coming out, somebody decided, hey, we could go back and forth. Let's show some footage of Kendrick stopping out in Toronto, because he gets love out there too, and the fans sing his words. Like, if y'all want to have this conversation, it could go both ways. Well, here we are. So there y'all have it. If people want to have that back and forth, I mean, that scorecard looks to me like it's gonna be even. They put up numbers, they go crazy. Even if you want to compare their touring, right? Drake has the most successful hip hop tour ever, right? With the For All the Dogs tour, whatever that was. It's all a blur. But guess who was number one just last year before he concluded his tour? Kendrick Lamar. So they're neck and neck. They're going to continue to have this back and forth if you're going to be comparing tour dates and selling out the arenas and all of this stuff. So it's not like they're significantly different. They're performing in the same venues, selling out the same places, most likely performing for a lot of the same people. But again, when we're going to see how everything turns out when it's time for Kendrick to put the new album out. When Drake puts the new album out, everybody's going to have a whole new level of scrutiny. They're going to be seeing, okay, what the numbers do here, what the numbers do here, what the touring stats do here, what the touring stats do there, what the YouTube views is looking like here, who's going to have more Billboard charting records off their next album. Of course, the people that are into those conversations and use those as like solidified metrics as to what's better, those conversations are going to be happening. And to be honest, even though that's not my bag, I'm going to talk about it here on this show because other people are going to be making it such a thing that I have to address it on my platform. So it's about to continue to get interesting. Even if the back and forth nature of the beef is over, which it seems that Drake and Baka, they're not letting this shit go. They're going to keep finding goalposts. They're going to keep finding ways to compete. I don't know how successful all of that's going to be, right? Because, again, it's about moments in the culture. And right now, it's just not Drake's season. Drake's season was a very long fucking season. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not act like that. But let's not make it more than what it needs to be. Now, moving forward, on the heels of Ken and Friends with the pop out, we all saw that on Amazon or Amazon Music Twitch page. It was the same thing. We saw the production, PG Lang, Dave Free, Kendrick, and Free Lunch. Now, a lot of people probably don't know about Free Lunch, but that is the company, that's the brainchild of Tim Henshaw, who used to work with Amazon. He's the connect that brought that together. It wasn't his first time. If you go back and watch Kendrick's Big Steppers tour, you could see that he had a special on Amazon when that album came out. And actually, I might even say Kendrick put on a better performance for that than the actual pop out. If you compare the two stage presence on those two occasions, they're vastly different level of production, different level of everything, right? Now, of course, we're comparing the same person, so either way it goes, it's a success. But again, Tim Henshaw and Free Lunch were producers for both. All right? So on the heels of that, we've got a new announcement that Free Lunch founder and CEO is now going to be working with AEG Presents for a touring initiative. All right? So he will be securing hip-hop, R&B, and gospel tours for the company's global touring division. Okay, so let's get into this. AEG Presents and Tim Henshaw's Free Lunch have entered into a strategic partnership. Billboard can exclusively report. Under the terms of their partnership, Henshaw will be responsible for securing and marketing hip-hop, R&B, and gospel tours, as I stated. The alliance follows in the wake of Kendrick Lamar's The Pop Out, Ken and Friends, the Juneteenth concert at the Kia Forum in Inglewood, California, which was presented by PG Lang and Free Lunch. Streamed to fans around the world on Amazon Music, Henshaw's current client, the event broke the record for the most minutes watched of any Amazon Music production, and that's everyone included. In announcing the partnership, AEG Presents President of Global Touring Rich Schaefer said Tim's connection to hip-hop and R&B, whether it's the music, the artist, or the culture, is unmatched. He is from Compton, by the way. They say, I'm excited to bring someone of Tim's stature on to help our team expand in an area we've already had so much success in. His spirit and energy will be a great addition to the touring team, and we look forward to learning from him as we help build our business together. AEG Presents is a huge promoter out here, by the way. So this makes a lot of sense. Tim Henshaw said himself, I'm honored that this chapter started with Kendrick Lamar's The Pop Out, Ken and Friends, an iconic moment for LA and hip hop. Partnering with AEG is a natural next step for free lunch. I've been very fortunate in my career to play a role in delivering some of the most unforgettable live music experiences for the culture, and look forward to continuing that success. Now, Tim used to be Amazon Music's head of hip hop and R&B. And he launched Free Lunch in 2023. As noted in a release statement, the multifaceted creative shop is principally focused on authentically bridging the gap between culture and corporate America. During his 5-year tenure at Amazon, he oversaw the streaming services industry strategy and partnerships across both genres, including the global flagship brand Rotation, which is also a big deal. Among the various projects he brokered was 2022's exclusive live stream of the Big Steppers tour live from Paris. The event not only spotlighted Kendrick Lamar's second performance in Paris, it also celebrated the 10th anniversary of his second studio album, Good Kid, Mad City, or major label debut, as many remember. Okay. Henshaw also helmed artist negotiations for Amazon Music Live, a live stream concert on Twitch and Prime Video that aired following Thursday Night Football. Among artists featured on the series were Lil Baby, A$AP Rocky, and 21 Savage. I do believe the show was hosted by 2 Chainz. I don't know how successful it was. I never actually caught it, but it was a great idea. I thought it kind of gave me, the old TRL vibes. But I don't be on Amazon all that much. Additional live stream projects under his tenure included Tyler the Creator's Call Me If You Get Lost live concert, Kanye's Free Larry Hoover benefit, which also aired on Amazon, J. Cole's Dream Festival, which we see that every year. So he's a vital piece to a lot of the shit that we're able to see on live stream with the artists that we love. So I'm supporting him in everything that he does, and I'm hoping that they're able to bridge the gap between the AEG tours and Amazon so that we can keep seeing these artists. Because I don't think he's gonna be slowing down anytime soon. So shout out to him. And this is a great announcement to come after the pop out just happened. Continued success. Like I told y'all, West Coast is definitely coming back right now. There's a high demand for people that have experience in the West Coast music scene, that are professionals and that are willing and ready to push the culture forward. So I'm interested to see how everybody moves forward coming off of this whole pop-out concert situation, okay? We're going to keep the show rolling. So, I don't know how many of y'all are really familiar with that whole BBL Drizzy thing. I'm sure most of you are. Well, the company that actually is responsible for producing the AI sound behind the BBL Drizzy thing is now being sued for alleged copyright infringement by the RIAA. It's not just that company, but we've got Suno and Udio. Udio is the company that has the technology that created the BBL Drizzy sound that we heard, right? So let's get to it. The 3 major music companies filed lawsuits against AI music companies Suno and Udio on Monday, alleging the widespread infringement of copyrighted sound recordings at an almost unimaginable scale. The lawsuit, spearheaded by the RIAA, which is the Recording Industry Association of America, arrives 4 days after Billboard first reported the news that labels were seriously considering legal action against them. Filed by plaintiffs that include Sony Music, Warner Music Group, and Universal Music Group, the lawsuits allege that Suno and Udio have unlawfully copied the label's sound recordings to train their AI models to generate music that could saturate the market with machine-generated content that would directly compete with, cheapen, and ultimately drown out the genuine sound recordings on which the services were built. So let's just put a button in that for now and just go over what they're actually saying here. So Sony Music, Warner Music Group, and Universal Music Group have a problem with Suno and Udio because anybody basically on the internet can sign up and you could go on there and just put in a prompt that says, I want a song in this style. One of the more popular styles that we've seen is people trying to get the Motown aesthetic. People are putting like Glorilla songs in there and turning, fucking, what was the song? Yeah, Glow got turned into a Motown vibe. They did some shit with Nicki shit. They did some shit with a bunch of different artists, right? So we've seen that go viral multiple times. But then we heard this guy, King Wallonius, who we're going to get into, he decided to put a prompt in there for what he wanted the AI generated model to sing, and it came out talking about some BBL Drizzy. So now they're questioning, well, where are you getting these different models from? Where you could just go in there and say, I want it in this style or this style or this style or this style. Who are you using to train this technology, right? We've talked about AI on this channel a few times. They're alleging that you got to be using artists from our catalog because our catalogs are so vast, right? So furthermore, they state, building and operating these services requires, at the outset, copying and ingesting massive amounts of data to train a software model to generate outputs. For these services, this process involved copying decades worth of the world's most popular sound recordings and then ingesting those copies to generate outputs that imitate the qualities of genuine human sound recordings. Now, it must be noted, although they're fucking angry, they're not so angry that they're against AI. They're angry at the fact that they can't cash in on it. All these labels have AI divisions and initiatives that they're trying to bring into the fold. I just told y'all the other day about how Universal they just struck a partnership with another AI company, which will allow artists to literally go in the booth, sing horribly, and they're going to have technology that's going to correct it, right? You could go in there sounding like they just found your ass in a trash can, you know what I'm saying, dumpster diving for a slice of pizza, put you in the booth, you sound whack and fucked up, and be like, hey, this artist been out here fucked up. We're going to get them back to their normal status, baby. Let's run that AI on your old voice. Go in there and sing it. We're going to fix it, right? All of this different type of shit. And they're trying to make it exclusive to where only the songwriters or ghostwriters behind the scenes will have access to say, okay, let me write this and I'm going to send it to you in your voice so you can hear it. This is something that people such as myself and other content creators have already been speculating for the last couple of years, ever since this stuff started coming into play. Motherfuckers tried to downplay it. The music industry tried to act like they were against it. Behind the scenes, they were developing systems to try to do this stuff in private rather than in public. So they continue. Since the day it launched, Udio has flouted the rights of copyright owners in the music industry as part of a mad dash to become dominant AI music generation service. Neither Udio nor any other generative AI company can be allowed to advance toward this goal by trampling the rights of copyright owners. So, of course, their issue is the copyright. Because they own so much music, in order for a company like Udio or Suno to get access to be training models based on their songs, y'all got to strike a licensing deal. Licensing is like, it's not the backbone of the industry, but it's definitely part of the bread and butter. You know what I mean? Because without those licenses, I talk to y'all all the time about how if I play somebody's song on my channel, it's going to get copyright claimed, right? But if I had the direct license from these labels to play the music, like some of the bigger content creators, the No Life Shacks and others, etc., then I could effectively play what the hell I want and still get paid, and it would be no problem because I would have certain licenses and agreements in place with the labels, right? So that's just on my level, but we're talking about an AI company. They have to go and basically pay money. And that money could be millions of dollars to say, all right, we're going to pay y'all millions of dollars to get a blanket license over your entire catalog so that now we can train our AI systems based on the stuff that you own. In the music industry, these labels are saying, you ain't paying up. You never came to us with the proposal of what you was willing to pay. So we're going to shut you motherfuckers down. That's the simplest terms of what we're seeing. So the lawsuit is seeking both an injunction to bar the companies from continuing to train on copyrighted songs, as well as damages from the infringements that have already taken place. Neither Suno nor Udio immediately returned requests for comment on yesterday. And I do find it interesting that they can do this. And let me be the first to say, I'm not necessarily against the big 3 record labels that are mad about this shit, right? I don't fuck with them like that, but I'm not mad at their intent to say, you can't just come over here, use our shit and not cut us and break us in on nothing. Nah. You know what I'm saying? We put money up. We invest in motherfucker studio time. We put these people on tours. We put a lot of sweat equity and cash equity in on these motherfuckers to own this shit. You can't just come up in here and infringe on our shit and think you finna just start churning out duplicates and replicas of our stuff, right? That's just like this brand that I have on right now, World Envision. If I say, man, I like this shirt, and then I go get my homeboy to fucking recreate this shirt exactly as it is, and then I put it out and I drop it on my website, World Envision's gonna hit me up and say, hey bro, you stole our design. You sold 200 shirts. Run me my check. Same concept. Right? And what I find interesting is that these AI companies, since I follow websites like Music Business Worldwide very closely, where they have like daily updates on the inner workings of the music industry, I see the types of millions of dollars that these fucking these tech bros and these Silicon Valley motherfuckers, and they're over there raising millions of dollars in investment from tech bros to come into the music industry and come duplicate our lifeblood, the shit we dedicate 5, 10, 15, 20 years towards becoming great at, or becoming at least serviceable enough to make a living from. And y'all motherfuckers just want to say, yeah, we ran your shit through here and we can recreate your ass in 60 seconds. Nah, that shit ain't cool. Right? So Suno and Udio have quickly become 2 of the most advanced and important players in the emerging field of generative AI music. While many competitors only create instrumentals or lyrics or vocals, Suno and Udio can generate all 3 in the click of a button with shocking precision. Udio has already produced what could be considered the first AI-generated hit song with the Drake diss track, BBL Drizzy, which was generated on the platform by comedian King Wallonius, then popularized by Metro Boomin's Remix. Suno has also achieved early success since their launch in December of 2023. They raised $125 million from investors such as Lightspeed Venture Partners, Matrix, Nat Friedman, and Daniel Gross. So they got over $100 million in funding from rich motherfuckers, but they didn't want to break off none of the big labels, even though y'all are running their music through your AI system. Yeah, you're going to have to come through. You know, this is big business we talking about. This ain't no fucking science project in middle school. Right? So when we heard the Sexy Red and Drake remix, right? The You My Everything, in which they did their own version of BBL Drizzy under Drake's verse. Guess what ended up happening? I never got a chance to actually cover this, but King Wallonius, the guy who put the prompt in to create BBL Drizzy, he got cut in on the royalties. Metro Boomin didn't get cut in on the royalties. Even though Metro Boomin made it super popular, he created a whole beat. He created a whole rap challenge. He said he was going to pay $10,000 to the winning artist, whoever had the best verse or the best diss on it, whatever his criteria was. Right? Sexy Red's producer, Tay Keith, he went, sampled the same song that Metro Boomin did, recreated it, changed a couple of elements in the beat, so then that became a whole new thing. But then the day after it was released, King Wallonius, who's not even a music producer himself, he just happened to go on Udio and create this BBL Drizzy thing by typing in a few words. He's now receiving royalties off of the Sexy Red song when Metro Boomin, who actually turned that original AI sound into an actual beat, got nothing. So that just goes to show you how deep this shit can go. Right? Now he didn't get cut in on the master, which most producers would get cut in on the master points, or at least would fight for him. Because AI, you can't take like an AI sound at this time and copyright it with the Copyright Office. He wasn't going to get no master royalties, but he did get publishing royalties because, again, he typed in the prompt that created the sound, right? Which is the same equivalent to if I go in the studio and I write the song, I get cut in on publishing royalties. Even whether or not I sing it myself, I could sing it myself and still get publishing, or I could give it to another artist like a Drake. He goes in and sings it, and I would get publishing royalties as long as they properly credit me on the song, which King Wallonius was, once they figured out where it came from. So now we're about to start seeing all new people creating all of these AI samples, and they're going to try to see if other producers want to sample their music. We're going to see more producers that are going to be going on these platforms and creating their own samples because they may not want to have to go through a King Wallonius and cut him in on it. It's like, shit, I might as well log in myself, create what I want to hear. Say I want a 60s Gladys Knight sounding type sample and type in the words that I wanted to sing. Run it through my motherfucking DAW. You know, like Pro Tools, Logic, or whatever it is. Sample that shit, chop it up, put some drums on it. Niggas be like, oh, what sample is that? I can't tell you, bro. I made it myself. Really? The lies. So, that's where we're at with this shit, man. And for anybody out there that's not understanding what I'm talking about, just understand that it's a lot of money at play. And again, if the words that I'm saying in this video somehow got turned into lyrics for somebody's song and they don't credit me, but they turn it into some sort of AI generated thing, and then they sample it and create it into a song, they would be robbing me. And if I found out about it, I would have to try to pursue it legally so that I could get my cut. It goes that deep. So, I know not everybody is into this stuff and all of the mechanics that go into the music business, or why this stuff is important, or why this copyright infringement suit is important to even bring about. I get it, but that don't make it any less important. And this show is called Inside the Industry, so we talk about these types of things from time to time. Okay? Speaking of Metro Boomin, he's now coming out debating whether or not he even wants to release his music on streaming platforms in the future. And that's interesting to me because I would suspect that he made pretty good money off of his last album, off of streaming. However, Metro Boomin says he's raised the prospect that his future albums may not be released on streaming services at all. On Instagram, he shared a post and said a fan needs to stream an artist's music 20 times a day for a whole year for that artist to make $25 from that fan. He says, this is why my next album will probably be the last one streaming. Interesting. And that will be, I believe, his third album. Perhaps he only has a 3-album deal. Perhaps he goes back independent and starts releasing his own music through his own website where you could buy it directly, similar to how I have my album, Southside Nolan, on my website. You can go to realjnolan.com and cop that. If you like the song that y'all been hearing at the end of the video, Let's Get It, it's on that album. You could get it. Okay? Which I find to be interesting because although I might not go on Metro Boomin's whatever platform and buy his shit, he's got a big enough following to where he could probably sell a solid 15, 20,000 just straight off of there and sell it for $20 a pop. You know? And I'm not a mathematician or anything, but let's just do the calculations on 15,000 times $20. Somebody done figured this shit out before I did, but I'm going to go to my calculator. Okay. It's $300,000. So some people in record contracts, they could sell 1 million records and not receive $300,000. Just to give y'all the real. So I would support that though. Especially shit. Fuck around him and Future do another album. Well, Future ain't gonna have the leverage to do that because he's still under contract probably. But if Metro could put together an album, another compilation album fully produced under him, released under his own shit, and still get major label artists and their labels to sign off on their presence on the project for whatever flat rate or something, that would be interesting. What else we got? Y'all give me a second. DJ Mustard. All right, so we're going to leave y'all here with DJ Mustard. He recently went on Big Boy TV to talk about his collaboration, of course, Not Like Us, with Kendrick Lamar. He also talked about the process of finally getting Kendrick to rap on some of his beats, you know what I'm saying, or one of his beats at this current moment. Some of the video shoot details, different things, and just how long he's been trying to get Kendrick to actually rap on his shit. So I'm going to pull up the interview. I'm not going to watch the entire interview. It's nearly an hour, but I do want to watch about somewhere between 8 to 10 minutes of it because they got right into the conversation. It wasn't no fluff. Big Boy, as soon as the interview started, he jumped into the Not Like Us conversation. So I do want folks to hear where Mustard stands on all of this with this Not Like Us record, the video, being unified with the West, because you know, a lot of times producers don't get heard. They're mostly heard through the music. So we're going to pull that up in just a moment, all right?
Man, what's up?
Man, I'm telling you, Mustard, it must really be Mustard time right now, bro. Because it was never a point where we said, like, man, where's Mustard? Where's Mustard?
Yeah.
But you started working. Of course, production has always been A1, bro. And you have a new album that's coming. But how the hell did Not Like Us happen, bro? Like, we had a chance, literally, not even a few hours, not even 12 hours. Remember, we were in the airport.
Yeah.
And Not Like Us had just dropped the night before. And I asked you, I said, man, what was that like? And you told me at that time that you hadn't heard it until...
I didn't hear it till everybody else heard it. I got to a point I was sending them 5 beats a day before the whole beef, whatever. But
right.
I was just, working on my album. I'm like, man, I really want to do a song with you. I really have to, I'm from here. So it's like, that's Kendrick. It's like, man, and this is years in the making. I've been trying to do songs with him for years.
Oh, really?
So
though?
it's just like
How many beats in total you think you sent to Kendrick?
maybe 100.
Jesus
Maybe
Christ.
maybe 50, 60, something like that.
See
I
how
don't wanna
God
say
works?
100.
No.
That's not- yeah. I always tell people, only take one.
Yeah,
You
man.
get that one, it's like, you good.
At any time, did you feel frustrated by sending so many beats, or you just kind of used to those kind of things?
No, I don't really get frustrated with
Right.
stuff like that. I kind of like, I'm kind of more of like persistent. And just like, when it's time, it's time.
It's crazy that you're still that way.
Yeah, I mean,
with
I
all
wasn't.
the accolades and you know what I'm saying?
I think I just got into that, like, at one time, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to just send stuff every single day. I'm going to do 5 beats a day. And I was just super persistent. I would text the nigga, good morning.
Right.
Even if it wasn't no beat, hey, good
Right.
morning, man. What you got going? Stuff like that. And then I was just like, I text him 5 beats this morning. I'm just like, bro, every day. I just have to. Yeah.
So when you heard, how were you? Because we saw a whole lead in
Yeah.
when it came to, Drake and Kendrick.
Yeah.
It was a whole lead in. So just as a spectator, were you watching that and listening to that?
Yeah, I was actually like, I think people think that I was trolling, like I knew the whole time.
Right.
But I'm from here, so I'm always rooting for us. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I'm on Twitter like, yeah, K. Dot West Side, shit like that. And then Kendrick had dropped, I think it was one song before.
Oh, here.
Like
This is what we had to
Oh, you
do,
got the
man.
whole
That's
thing?
that's
That's a
that's the
list.
whole
What's that?
list.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So
Real quick, I find this interesting that Mustard never got to hear the song. This is the same thing that Alchemist said with Meet the Grams. Like, these are beats that had already been previously sent to Kendrick. That motherfucker went in the studio, cooked up these diss records, and didn't even let the niggas who produced them hear them, and didn't tell the motherfuckers that they was finna drop these bitches neither. This motherfucker sitting on napalm nuclear bombs. And he ain't even called these niggas to say, hey, bro, I just murdered your shit. I'm at this nigga. He just dropped this shit with the rest of the world, and them niggas had to find out the day of. Diabolical. I just had to cut in and say that real quick.
okay, so Like That came out, and I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, man.
And
Because
then-
Like That came from
Yeah,
nowhere.
Like That came out,
with,
and I was
with
like,
Future and
woo!
Metro, yeah.
And then Push Ups came out, I was like, ah. And then Taylor Made came out, and I was just like, you trolling the coast?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
you
what
trolling
that's
us?
what I was thinking too. I was like, oh, he went back to back, and that was what
I
the
was like,
Tupac
the
thing.
Tupac
he was
shit kind of threw me because I'm like, damn, he just made his voice in Tupac, like, so I was like, then Euphoria came, and I'm like, yeah, get his ass, like,
Yeah.
that type of thing. And then 616 came out, and okay, no, 616 came out. Family Matters, all right. I like Family Matters. I thought it was tight.
Yeah.
And then that night, that Family Matters came out. I was in the studio, and I was even like 2 days before that though. I knew I had been sending them beats. Did I think it was gonna be a part of this shit? No.
Right.
I was talking to my homeboy Lil S, and I'm like, hey man, I'm in a store shopping. I'm like, man, if that nigga ever drop a song on my beat, it's over. I kept saying I went on a bike ride. It was like 4 people. I told my girl, I'm like, man, if he do some shit like some LA shit, it's over. And I just kept thinking in my head, I'm just like, man, I hope you do something.
Period, or on like with the beef in mind.
No, I'm just saying.
Period.
No. At first, I was just like, I just want to do a song.
Right. And
Before the
now
beat.
you're focused
And
in
then
on
I was
if
just
he-
like, if he pull out that card and just do a mustard beat in the middle of this shit, it's over.
hey man, you had never hit Dot and said, hey man, look at these
Nah.
beats. So you weren't even
I was
wow.
sending them beats. I wasn't even paying I was paying attention. We all was paying
Right.
attention, but I was on some like, nigga, if you gonna drop an album anytime, I don't know. Still, I was
Yeah.
just like sending stuff because I just want to stay on the top of your mind. I want to get a song with you. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. Whether it's beef or not beef, me being from California, I feel like everybody want a song with Kendrick. Just like it's Kendrick. So when 616, when Family Matters came out, I'm looking at this shit. I'm like, ooh, this shit crazy. And then fucking Meet the Grams came out. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah, man.
shit. I'm tweeting. I'm not knowing nothing. I don't know what the fuck is going on, what Kendrick doing. I'm not texting him like, hey,
Yeah, we
I don't
need
know
one.
nothing. All I'm texting him is beats. Or, hey, top of the morning, boom, I'm talking about my garden. I'm talking to him about normal shit. I'm not
Yeah,
talking
man.
about
tennis. Anyone?
I'm actually
tennis?
not talking to him about the beef at all. Like, we don't talk. We was never talking about that. We was just, I'm like, check this out. I'm sending different type of shit, not just LA turn shit, just all type of shit. So I remember I texted him about this song on my album, and I wanted him on it. and I've been trying to get him on it. He's not on it, but I was just trying to get him on it. And I'm like, this is the morning Not Like Us drop. So I'm on my way to a baby shower. I'm like, hey man, you know, I got this song. No, not he already knew about the song. I'm like, I need it. I'm about to do this. He never answered me. This whole day. It's like 2:00.
Because and we're at one point when I saw you, because you had went out for Lovers and Friends.
No, I was DJing that night.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So it just happened to be Lovers and Friends that day.
Right.
So I'm on my way to a baby shower. My girl's in another car. I'm in another car because I gotta go to the airport. She's staying back. Or maybe we was going, I don't know. Anyway, somehow she's in another car. And we on the freeway, and Miko texts me, mustard on the beat, ho. And I'm like, what? Like, or he said he dropped again. And I'm like, what? Okay. I'm thinking he's late, because he's always late.
Right.
Like, he don't be on his phone and shit. I'm like, nigga, he dropped last night. Shut up.
Yeah.
Then I get another text, mustard on the beat, ho. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what did I miss? And that's how I heard the song on the fucking 405 freeway driving. And nigga, I start spazzing. I'm like, ah! I just start screaming. I just rolled the window down. I'm telling my girl. She's like, what? I sent her the link, and I was just like, I gotta get the phone. And I'm just like listening to it over and over. And I'm just like,
man, and it was the one. And did you get, when we talked in Vegas, you were saying how you sent them the 5 beats, and then you said they requested, what is it, the skins?
The stems.
The stems.
Yeah, like the stems to the beat. But still,
right.
you know, that doesn't
that
mean,
happens.
Yeah, that happens. It's like he got a lot of stems in mind.
Right.
Like, you know, I don't think it's like, I didn't think it was this.
Right.
Like, you know, and when I got to the baby shower, it was like, when I knew it was like something, like, I didn't know it was that. Like, I knew it was crazy because I just know what good music is. But next door to the party, they was already playing it. Like, they was playing this shit. Like,
bro.
I'm talking about it only dropped for 20 minutes. It wasn't out like that long.
Hey, man, literally, I'm in Vegas for the Lovers and Friends, right? And so Fuzzy hits me up, and Fuzz, he sends me, you know, whatever before Not Like Us. You know what I'm saying? And then he hits me back, and he was like, man, did you hear the such and such? I was like, yeah, man. I said, I already heard it. He was like, no, did you hear such and such? And I'm like, I said, I heard it.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, he dropped again. So literally from me just unpacking my bag.
Yeah, to then. Yeah. It was crazy.
Man, I heard that mustard on the beat, and I was like,
bro. I'm like, I just wanted a song. You said the tag too?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that's just crazy.
Hey, man, and that was one of those moments, bro, where, you know, sometimes you get like, oh, something got to grow on me, or I got to, bro.
Yeah.
That didn't have to grow on you.
Yeah, it was instant.
And it was instant. When I saw you in the airport the next day, I was like, man.
I was still in shock.
Bro,
couldn't believe it.
I was in shock when you said I didn't know. I knew it. I said, man, when did you know? And you was like, man, I knew when you knew.
Everybody, my uncle was with me the night before, right? One of my uncles was with me the night before in the studio. He texted me, said, man, why you ain't tell me? I said, I ain't know either.
Like, man, why they didn't tell me?
Yeah, they ain't tell me. I was like,
hey, man, where does that put you at? Like, cause you're looking at the beef. You know what I'm saying? And you doing the mustard thing. You know what I'm saying? Mustard, you get loud.
Yeah.
But where does that put you at now when you say, man, now I'm in this?
I just think my loyalty is with California.
Gotcha.
You know, at the end of the day, you know, I don't have a personal vendetta with him or anybody over there for whatever. But my loyalty lies with California.
Yeah.
Because when all else fails, California is who's gonna root for me forever.
Yeah, man.
You know, and the Bay and LA and like us as a coast, it's like it's home. Like that's where I'm at.
Hey, man, where do you hear that song now? Because I'm saying you can't get away from it. It's on TV.
Yeah.
It's at NBA games.
Yeah.
It's at live events. It's at concerts, let alone, you know, it's in the clubs.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't escape it.
Right. It's crazy. It's like I still, every day when I wake up, I'm like, dang, that really happened.
Do you remember making it?
Yeah.
Not Like Us?
Yeah, I remember making a beat. I made it on like April 6th.
Oh,
my
damn.
manager's birthday. Miko's birthday. I was 5 beats a day.
Right.
And I'm like, man, I'm at the studio. It's like 3 o'clock. And I'm like, I make the 5 beats. So usually I don't send beats one by one. I will just make the 5 and then I'll just send them all 5 at once.
Did you send Not Like Us to anyone else?
No. Any of the beats I ever sent him, I've sent. Nobody's ever had these beats. Nah, all the beats that I've ever sent him is just.
So you
fresh.
specifically making 5 beats for Kendrick? Wow.
5 beats for him. And I sent those beats. I went to it. Miko had a surprise dinner, and at 12 o'clock at night, he had like hearted, like, ooh, this is crazy. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, and then the next day, I'm back to 5 beats again. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah.
Hey man, at any point after you send, how many beats of fives? Just you said probably 100 beats, or how many you think you sent?
Maybe
them?
like 50.
50 beats.
60, yeah.
At any point were you about to say, man, fuck this?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Nah,
you know,
Nah, 'cause I'm-
that's probably like the last five. Like, baby, after this
Nah.
last five, man, fuck this
Nah,
shit,
because
man.
I'm always like a firm believer on like, you know, like when it's time, it's time. Like, you know, like, also I'm a firm believer on it only takes one.
Yeah.
And that's with everything. It's not like, I always tell my homies like that do music. It's like you get one hit, it can change your life.
But Mustard, you already got like so many accolades.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like some people be like, man, hold on, bro, I'm Mustard. You know what I'm saying?
I one thing I did speak with Kendrick about is like removing the ego. I don't have an ego. I don't have an ego when it comes to like making music or like collaborating with people or other producers, or even how I may look to get a person to finish a song for me for my album. I might call a dude 100 times, like, and it's happened before. And it's like I don't have, like, you know, like you can call. I'm calling Roddy. Maybe I don't have to call Roddy that many times, but say if I'm calling, I don't know, anybody 100 times trying to get him to do the song, nobody's ever gonna hear the song when it comes out and be like, or Travis Scott, for instance.
Right.
If I had to call him and chase him down, and I'm calling him over and over, blowing his phone up, some people would be like, I'm not blowing his phone up.
You're right.
Me, I don't think anybody's gonna listen to the song if it's good and be like, I wonder how many times you have to call him.
Right,
Like, you know, so it's like,
right. Yeah.
The ego part of it
man,
doesn't matter.
you
It's
know
like the
that he
bigger
had to
picture.
call Travis like probably 42 times on this one, man.
Travis had to catch Travis, man.
Yeah, but you got it.
Yeah, I got it.
And that was another one, bro. As soon as you press play on that,
Yeah.
it didn't have to grow on you.
Yeah.
Man.
I just feeling.
Like, hey, man, faith of a mustard seed.
Yes, sir.
All right, so there goes DJ Mustard talking about his experience and getting that one with Kendrick. All it take is one. It could change your life. Shit, he done had a few that changed his life, but this one is finna do wonders for any and everybody involved. Hell, I think the engineer on this motherfucker. Now, I don't know if this was mixed by Ali or not. I need to check that out. But his shit'll be changed all over again off of that shit. Not to mention if that mother, going back to earlier in the video, talking about a potential Grammys. Woo, shit. Now, y'all heard in the midst of all of that, Mustard says he doesn't have a personal vendetta, personal issue, or any targeted animosity toward Drake. His loyalty is with the coast. Well, it's rumored that Drake has personal animosity towards Mustard. People are now saying that Drake recently followed DJ Mustard's ex-wife Chanel on Instagram. Y'all know how he does. The first thing he always does, if you go left with Drake, he goes right to your woman's Instagram if he can find it. Follows, DMs. He starts trying to boost them up, give them all the praise, give them, you know what I'm saying, give them some encouragement. They come back with the smile emojis and all of this weird shit. He feel like, I got him. Y'all saw when shit popped off and it was rumored that Ross had some negative things or some funny things to say about Drake. Next thing you know, he had Rick Ross's girl, or I should say ex, because she had broken up. They had broken up maybe a few days prior. But he had her given VIP access to his tour stop. Right? She posted it on IG that she had gotten a personal VIP invite and she showed up to the show. Like, I don't know what it is about bro and his ego and his twisted mind, but he feels like the best way that I could get to any of you niggas, if I can't get to you personally, if I can't get to where you at, which he's never going to attempt to do anyway, I know how to get you. It's through women, right? Every beef this nigga has had in hip hop, he has attacked. And when I say attack, I don't mean literally physically attacked the women. You know what I'm saying? But he's used them as part of his strategy. This goes all the way back to motherfucking Common with Serena Williams. A couple years ago, he even dissed Serena Williams' current husband, called him a groupie. How do you call somebody's partner, life partner at that, actual married husband, a groupie? You would think that's what he's supposed to be for Serena Williams, right? When it came time for Pusha T, he named Pusha T's wife on a song. Right? Weird shit. When it was Meek Mill, he used Nicki Minaj against him. Is that the world stage or your girl stage? Right? Shout out to all my ladies out here wifing niggas. No matter what, he's gonna find an angle to try to go at your lady. I think even with Joe Budden, he may have mentioned Tahiri once or twice. It's rumored Tahiri might have took the slide. We don't know. But what we do know from Joe personally is that him and Drake are Eskimo brothers. If you don't know what that means, look it up. Multiple times they've encountered the same women. Don't know if it's deliberate or if Drake was literally trolling. Right? So there's that. Of course, with the Kendrick battle, he tried to bring up Whitney in the first song. Right? Push-ups, he said her name. He said her name again on fucking Family Matters. It's just weird. Hell, wasn't it a nigga that was like, he said something about his girl going to the Drake show or something like that? And Drake reached out to homeboy girlfriend. It was something weird. Something real weird where he ended up DMing her. And it ended up coming out. Homeboy was like chilling. He was like, I'm not mad at this nigga. Like, we laid up reading his DMs right now. Like, shit, fuck it. She here with me. But that's his first line of defense. When it's wartime, I'm going after your woman. Hell, that nigga felt some type of way about... You say... Niggas think that it was just a coincidence that Drake smashed Tammy, whoever Tammy is. You know what I mean? That was Wayne's girl. I'm starting to be under the impression he felt some type of way about Wayne at that time. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think of all this. What we do know is DJ Mustard's ex, Chanel, fucking hates Mustard. They had a very messy divorce. They've had a very rough custody battle. They've had a very rough year in terms of trying to figure out how much money she was going to be owed for child support with their children and all of this stuff. I think even so recent as this year, Mustard was trying to get custody of his children to where he wouldn't have to pay her child support and all this different stuff. She was feeling some type of way about it. She was trying to portray him out to be a deadbeat. So I will say, if you know who Chanel is, if you know her IG, you ever seen her, she looked just about his speed. She's a little older than the rest of them, but if you just look at her stature, she fits the profile. Not to say she would go, but for what he's looking at, she fits. Again, let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Become an insider is so much better on the inside than the outside. You know what I mean? And we're going to keep this thing rolling. I see y'all in a bit. Much love and respect. We're going to take y'all out with Let's Get It. So let's get it. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. But I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they died of me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross some out, came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but you run no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. When I catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.